Lau, keeping us rocking. We let him go a little longer because we was loving his music. That's how we rock there. Thanks a lot there, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. And as everybody can see, I've been talking about this all week, been blasting it. You see, I have the legend, the Tony Award winner, 4-time Grammy nominated. What else is icon, actress, everything. I'm just going to say everything. Everything. I got the beautiful Melba Moore sitting next to me. How you doing today?
I'm really, really good. Oh, it sounds so good. My new music sounds fabulous.
Yes, it does.
I like your DJ.
Thank you, Miss Moore, the legendary one.
Yes. That track is Just Dance on her forthcoming CD. I know it, Forever More. There we go.
Now, if you didn't get the more part, I was going to hit you.
No, the Forever was stuck in my head. I was working on it. I knew it and stuff, but
it's new to you. It's Forevermore. I'm kind of familiar with the title.
I hope so. And when can we expect that to come?
I don't know. We're still working on songs. Dominic McFadden wrote that one, and his partner,
nice.
He calls himself Faux Toe, Phoe, Toe. And he's got some more music coming for me, so I got to see what he's going to do, and he's getting ready to shoot the video for us.
Yeah, you're shooting in Philly.
In Philly next week.
I didn't think I knew that, huh?
No, I didn't. What else you know?
I know a little something. Well, I thought I knew stuff, but apparently I don't know enough because I was reading, and I'm just flabbergasted on a lot of stuff. So we definitely got to get into that, And shout out to everybody who's taking the time out to listen in.
Yeah.
Jose, Cookie, Extremities, DJ Bilal, shout out Wine Dance, he's coming through.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Richardson for even talking to me because I know he's a busy man. And GID Radio. Yeah, I think that's everybody. And Miss Moore, of course.
Yes.
Of course, and stuff. I'm just honored that you took the time out your busy schedule. You're performing this weekend on Fire Island.
We went to Fire Island last week, and we're going to be down at Blues Alley this coming weekend in Washington, D.C.
Oh, you are just killing it.
2 shows, August 1st and 2nd, coming up. So we want everybody to come down to that.
So where do you get all this energy from? I mean, you're just doing shows.
I was just born with it. Oh, I'm sorry. Lincoln Park is coming this weekend.
Jersey, right?
Newark,
New Jersey.
Right.
Okay.
And the show is, It's Newark, right? Oh, it's the Lincoln
festival.
Park Music Festival.
Like a 3-day festival, correct?
So,
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Right, but you're performing on the 25th.
Thank you.
Oh, excuse me, my fault.
The
You're performing the
26th.
6th. We're going to get it together.
7 p.m.
7.
on August 26th.
Okay, y'all make sure. I'm going to post that up and everything. We're going to make sure we get all the
Yeah.
information because we all need to go.
No,
Bilal, you down? I know Bilal's down.
I've gotten spoiled because everything is posted. Don't really have to remember anything anymore.
Welcome to my world. I keep everything written and posted so I
Yeah.
don't forget. So I got to
We
put
do
that in my
want everybody-
calendar.
We do want everybody to know that Saturday, July 26th at Newark at the Lincoln Park Music Festival.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we want to let them know. It's an all-day thing the day that I'm down there, and I think I'm going to be on about 7 o'clock.
Okay.
And we have a couple, that's the other. I got too many bookings. I can't remember them all. But I know Lincoln Park Music Festival is the 26th. And
Okay.
Blues Alley is August 1st and August 2nd. That's Washington, D.C.
Okay. Well, hope y'all got that. Of course, this is being recorded, so y'all be able to come back and watch this again so we can get those dates correct because I know I'm going to need to write them down.
Well, and they'll be posted, too.
Oh, yeah, and that too. So we'll make sure that happens. So let's just get right into it. It's so much about you.
Yeah, ask me something I know, right?
Okay, we'll make sure we do that and stuff. Now, one thing I didn't know about yourself was, about your mother and father being musicians or being in entertainment themselves. So,
Yes.
So, was you always like that type of person that you knew that's what you was going to do?
No, because early on, like a lot of people, my family was broken. My mother was a single parent, and she was a professional singer, so she was away a lot.
Right.
So there really, at that point, was no music in my family. My grandmother, I'm told, sang too, but by the time I was born, she'd had stroke, so
Right.
she wasn't able to speak. And my natural father was a very famous band leader and musician by the name of Teddy Hill. But then my mother married a musician.
Oh. You was destined
Got
for it.
music coming out
Right.
the yin yang, okay? So, and my stepfather still performs. He's in his 90s, so he's kind of my inspiration.
Right.
Never ever give up. If you got a talent, keep doing it. If ain't nobody to do it for but yourself, keep doing it.
I feel you. I mean, you're one of the rare ones that are still out there. I mean, for you, I see you performing everywhere. Somebody's telling me something. Like, even when I first touched base with you, I think some people was telling me you performed like a week before somewhere else, and I was like, I gotta ask her this, you know.
Well, actually, what we're doing, we're with this new CD, especially with this is the third single from this album. We're actually formulating a real tour. These have been like isolated dates,
Right.
but there've been a lot of them. But what we want to do right now is like consolidate it and organize it into a real tour, which I understand is not always that easy. Well,
Yeah.
for some artists too, because I'm like in a lot of different areas. I'm in theater. I'm in music, and now especially like for instance the Lincoln Park Music Festival is really primarily house music, but they've invited me to be a part of that as an R&B artist.
Right.
And because I'm so diversified, it's kind of difficult to organize it into just one tour. But I think with this CD, we'll be able to do that because it promises to be very well accepted, and we're getting a lot of support. We're going to get major distribution, so we'll be able to support the CD and just kind of do one thing for a while.
Okay. So, with all that music influence you had in your family, I saw that you was a music teacher.
Well, yeah. What happened was, with music being in the family, like my brother, who's passed away now, became a wonderful jazz pianist, and he taught music in the university level.
Right.
My sister was an elementary school teacher. My brother was an attorney. So everybody was educators and really kind of in that mold. And I think my parents wanted us to have what they call real jobs. I said, but Mother and Daddy, you ain't got no real job. He said, well, don't do like I do. Do like I say.
Right. Definitely.
And
We all been through that.
Right. I mean, they really wanted more for us. And I'm really glad that I did do that because what I discovered was getting in front of the classroom, you discover you really care. Because, well, with music, nobody really respected it in the public schools. And so if you wanted to teach it, you had to be strong, you had to want to teach it, you had to care about the kids. And that's when I discovered I really had a passion for music, period, whether I was performing it or teaching it. I only taught for a little while because I wanted to, before too much time passed, at least see if I could be a performer.
Well, you did a very good job there. And what was the first song that you sung professionally?
I can't tell you that. I don't remember that. I can tell you some songs that I recorded professionally first.
Okay.
One was let me see, Magic Touch. What else? Ain't No Love Lost. Got some really great songs by Gene McFadden and John Whitehead, like No One Else to Turn To, Living Free. Those were some of the first songs.
Right.
I Am His Lady. Those were some of the first songs I recorded. But to go back and to remember the very first song I sang, I don't know. Maybe because it was with us merging the families and so many changes. I'm
Right.
not sure if there was so much confusion and adjustment going on.
So when did you find out that you wanted to do the stage acting?
Oh, that came by accident. I knew I wanted to be a singer. So after I stopped teaching school, my stepdad took me around to some of his colleagues to try to get me into the industry. But one of the first people I met was Valerie Simpson.
Oh.
And she was then a jingle singer and a background singer, but she was also an aspiring songwriter. And she asked me, did I read music? I said yes. She said, exchange numbers, and she called me. She actually got me into the industry as a backup singer.
Oh, nice.
But one of the recording sessions we did turned out to be for Galt McDermott, who wrote the music for the Broadway play Hair.
Right.
And without telling you all the gory details, that's how I got my first Broadway show. It was really almost an accident.
Well, that's how it happens sometimes.
Yeah, and then from there, I still didn't have a manager or an agent, but one of the girls in the chorus told me about auditions for what turned out to be not only my second Broadway show, but the show that gave me a Tony Award, which was
Right.
Pearly. So there were lovely things that God just kind of orchestrated.
Well, I mean, I look at it as you were just meant to be, and you're just gonna put you in that spot to go ahead and do it and stuff. Because what I read is like you've been through so much, but yet you're still here strong. Everybody loves you, and if they
And
never
I love
heard,
everybody.
there it is. And if they haven't heard you by today, they will.
Oh, thank
But
you.
it's very rare. It's very rare anybody never heard about you. I mean, your YouTube links. I mean, I was just blasting it all
Thank you.
week.
Thank you.
Once I knew, I was like, okay, this is it. This is the top right here. This is my top right here. It's just
Well, and new music gives you an excuse to get out in front of people and show them what you're doing, what you look like, what you feel like, what's going on in your life today. So it's another fresh opportunity.
Right. So, like with your music, I noticed that you still staying true to yourself because even that Just Dance track, I still got that feel of Melba Moore in the beginning. Do you do the people that you work with try to take you out of that, or?
Absolutely no. Dominic is Gene McFadden's son.
Oh, okay.
Gene McFadden and John Whitehead and I worked so much together in the studio. They really helped me develop my recording persona. And so Dominic, I'm not sure if Fo, the one who actually produces, is so familiar with me. He's getting familiar with me now.
Right.
But Dominic almost knows me like a family member. So when he comes to bring something for me, it's really tailor-made for me. He doesn't want to get me out of what I was. He just wants to keep me relevant.
All right, because I noticed with a lot of legends and they try to do music for now, they go out their wheelhouse and it just doesn't work.
It doesn't work,
Right.
no.
That works. That works. That is hot now. It could have been hot in the 60s and the 70s. Back even like when I was popping in the club, like in Bentleys and what was that, Studio 54, and I'm dating myself, y'all. My daughter.
No, you dating me.
I guess I'm messing us both up right now.
No, you ain't messing me up. I'm glad to be here.
Now, I know my daughter's gonna tease me later, so.
You're the young one. I'm the mature one.
Well,
Exactly.
You're the blessing. We'll put it like that. You're the blessing. But let's get back on this Broadway thing. Is it something that you just love doing and everything?
I absolutely adored it. I never thought about it. It was a great surprise to me. And getting on the stage and Hair was just like being in what would I call it, an experiment in a bubble where you were safe and you could experiment and you were just within a closed, protected circle.
Right.
I mean, I never thought I would get on anybody's stage naked.
Okay.
It's still shocking, isn't it?
Yeah. No. No.
Well, I mean, you see, everything is done now, but I mean, to think that you could, well, don't forget, I'm African American, I'm of a certain age, and those opportunities weren't there for us. But,
Right.
I mean, just to plan out and study and plan for it, no. But, if you would just buck wild and say yes about everything,
Very free spirited.
very free-spirited, then some great things could happen for you. I was at the right place at the right time.
Right.
And, of course, my family had given us very, very good morals and very strong education values and commitment, but they were artists.
Right.
It's, they were adventurers. I think I
Yeah,
kept
free
that-
spirited adventures, go getters.
Yeah, I mean, but you're in a certain mold. I mean, because when we did the recording sessions and stuff, I mean, that was really, it was lots of fun and it was wonderful, but we were well trained. But when the people came in with Galt McDermott to do the music from Hair, they were hippies. I had never seen nothing about no hippies. This man didn't have no shoes on.
And probably had money.
Well, I was so shocked at what he looked like. I didn't think about that. But I mean, you knew you had to have money because he was in there recording his whole music. Because that recording session took about 2 weeks.
Really?
So that's very expensive. And we didn't come cheap.
Well, exactly. Definitely exactly. So, like, what other Broadway plays did you do on Broadway or off Broadway?
Well, my first play was Hair. My second play was Pearly.
Right.
The third play I did, or musical, was Timbuktu, and I starred opposite Eartha Kitt in that. It was originally
That
called...
was you?
That was me.
Really?
What do you mean that was me? You didn't see it?
No. I'm just going by
You
stuff
read
my
about
mom.
it?
No, stuff my mom's was telling me.
Oh, Timbuktu. And then later on, way later, after a whole bunch of things that happened to me that got me out of the industry, I came back on Broadway because I'll tell you how it happened. I didn't have any work. And so I created work by writing my own autobiography. And when I had it up in a workshop, a man by the name of Richard J. Alexander, who did the casting for Les Miserables on Broadway, saw me in my own play and put me as the female lead in the role of Fantine on Broadway. So theater's been very, 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 blessed for me.
Do you prefer to do theater?
I don't think I have a choice of preferring. I feel like if it hadn't been for the music, none of that would have happened. So I feel that's the presence of God, and if I follow that, lots of great things will happen that'll come out of that.
All right. Like all the Broadway plays that are going on now, what would be one that you would love to be in?
Well, it just closed after midnight.
Well, you missed that one, huh? I'm trying to throw it out there to let some people know. So that one closed. All right.
Well, if anybody saw After Midnight, it was exquisite. It was about the music of the 20s, and it was totally Afrocentric, and I think I can't remember who the band was supposed to be, but it was a big, big, big live band on the stage, and people danced like only we can dance.
They did it like a Roaring Twenties type thing or something like that,
Yes,
right?
it was,
I think
that
I
was
heard
the
something
period.
about that.
Oh, it's amazing, amazing. They do things with their body you ain't never seen before, and with their voices.
Well, the singing, I think anybody who does Broadway, their voice is like
No.
remarkable.
This is African American. You know how we do things. You know, like
Oh.
when you go to see like really, really good gospel music, and you say, well, how do they even do that?
Oh yeah.
It was like that, but only
Like in
Broadway.
church.
Only Broadway.
Okay. Now you back to your music real quick. Now you was talking about the producers when you kept saying McFadden. That's McFadden and Whitehead. Ain't no stopping us now, guys.
That one, yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Those
was trying to
ones.
put that together. I was like, wait a minute, is that them? I was like,
Hits
Right.
after hits.
yes.
I was
those
talking
guys.
so fast I didn't get all the credentials out.
Well, we'll make sure everybody know because those two
Yes.
are legends.
They're legends, and they really wrote a lot of songs for me. We had a long relationship. They wrote, they didn't write, but I say they wrote, but they arranged and produced "You Stepped Into My Life," which is a Bee Gees song.
Right.
But it's the McFadden-Whitehead feel that made
Right.
it the real, real big hit for me.
That's one of my
Yeah.
favorites.
Yeah. No doubt.
That's one of my favorites.
Yes, I mean, it's so beautifully orchestrated and arranged, and that's what Dominic brings to the table now. You know, there's a certain feel and a skill in his songwriting, but it's very simple. You can hear from Just Dance.
Right.
Very, very simple. But the simplest things are the genius things.
Exactly. A lot of
You
people.
get so much meaning and expression into so few words, and of course the feel and the arrangement. And I know you can hear in Just Dance, it's very clean and very sparse.
But very
But-
danceable.
But there's nothing missing. And if you notice at the end, we left a room for some of y'all DJs to mix it up and everything.
Oh, I'm going to mix it up. What I love about the record is positive.
Very positive,
And
yes.
it's not that much stuff on the radio now or anywhere positive. So
Yeah, because they're
I can
shutting
play
down
that
radio
all day.
stations now because you can't play nothing good no more. How do you feel about that with the way radio is going now? Because like BLS is the only one right now that's playing classics or real music to me, even though they play the same songs too many times though. But it's the only station. I mean, I like to go to a point where I want to listen to something that my daughters can listen to.
Right.
You know, and
Right, we need to
that's where I'm
connect.
at. So now it's like
I
you
mean,
don't
I
get
agree.
you know you don't get that anymore. So how do you feel about, or what do you think the industry should do about that? You know, or what would you think?
Well, we have to have people like you and others who are really artists in your heart and mind, married with entrepreneurs, because it's a business
Right.
aspect, and whoever has the interest in the money to buy the station is in control.
Okay. Well.
So if you know, really a great deal of our population is not represented on the radio and music right now. So if we could encourage some people who have the talent and the interest, and there's a many. See, it's not like today. It's not like it was when I was coming up. There weren't really that many entrepreneurs. We got entrepreneurs coming up out of
Everybody's
the
on.
crib now.
Yes.
Yeah. So
yes.
we can get some interested in programming, doing radio stations, urban radio. I think you'll hear music that will appeal to the population. Otherwise, it's going to be sports or something that has nothing to do with what you want, because we're so music-oriented and so art-oriented, we're not taking care of the business. That's my humble opinion.
I'm gonna give you that. And it's one like artists that I work with. I'm always preaching, know the business, because it is not easy. It's cutthroat.
It's very difficult, and some of the ones coming up now are learning the business, so perhaps that will be something in the near future.
Any artist I work with, I'm very big on. You go into this meeting with me. You need to know what's going
Right,
on.
we have to open the way.
Exactly. Now, you're performing on the Apollo. How was that?
Which time?
Okay. All of them.
All right, I'm going to put a deep on you, right?
all 150.
The last time I performed was with Melissa Morgan and Monifa, and who else was on the show? Allison Williams and Mickey Howard, and it was called like the Sister Experience, and I really enjoyed that because it was a now situation where I was kind of the grande dame of the divas.
Oh.
And it was
Hey.
me and my girls, and, you know, really like me and my younger sisters or my daughters. And it was a beautiful show. And, you know, the Apollo's not like what it was, but if we're going to keep it relevant, we have to, you know, continue to bring new programming there and everything.
Right.
I think they still have some concerts and stuff there, but it continues to change.
They do the concerts, and also they got Apollo Live with Gladys Knight and Dougie Fresh and Michael Bivins judging. They're trying to bring it back. Just everything's a little, I don't know.
It's a new day, so we might have to go on to something else. I don't know. But I'm glad I had a chance to be. I used to pray, so please don't shut it down before I get a chance to get on stage. I want to feel a vibe.
It'll come back because everything is coming back around right now, and
Possibly so.
and legends like yourself need to be up the forefront for my thought process to teach these younger artists how to do it.
But once again, we can only do that if we're successful. So we have to. Some of the older artists really have to learn the business too, because a lot of times when we were coming up, you had these attorneys, you had these record companies, and there was really a conspiracy of misinformation for us.
Right.
One of the reasons I'm still here is because I've been digging in and learning the business. I have a great manager now, and I'm all over the place because I'm in charge.
Oh, she has spoken, everybody.
The diva has
She
spoken.
has spoken. All right, we'll make sure we write that down. Ooh.
No, but I mean, the older ones can still learn the business now. It's very open in terms of internet and a small business and independent business, so you can learn. And now it's time for some of the younger ones to teach the old ones as well.
Well, I believe that there's a lot that everybody can learn because you're never too old to
If you're
learn.
willing to learn, it's not easy. If you're willing to make the adjustments and the changes, if you're willing to share and not still think you're the mother or the father and you're in charge.
Mm-hmm.
A new day is here, and so now you have to take the place of a student and learn.
Yeah, and some of us can be bullheaded. I'm one of them. I know me.
Well,
Stay successful, then you can afford that luxury.
Being a DJ and doing a lot of different groups and big groups, I think one of the biggest difference between your era, my era, and now is the artists respected themselves personally in your era than they do now. They just going with whatever is, bottom line is ignorant.
Well,
And
but
that
you know what
hurts. It hurts the music.
It does, but you know what it is? We've learned how to market anything and everything.
True.
All right.
And there's a good side to that, but there's a downside to it because without you developing any integrity, without you developing any sense of who you are, you can be successful. So you don't get a chance to have the grooming, I think. And that's not necessarily someone teaching you. It could be learning the ups and downs by going through a process. Sometimes it's so quick you don't get a chance to really develop.
Because there's a lot of artists, major artists now, they went through the process of the behind the scenes and they was learning so much. And I think back in the earlier times, I thought that happened a lot. It's like, oh, she's going to be a backup singer for a while, then next thing you know, she boom. Or they're going to do this, they're going to do that grind, and then next thing you know, they're major. I think, who was that? Nita Baker started out like that for a while.
Well, People Bryson.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people start out like that.
A lot.
Angela Bofill.
Yeah.
A lot of people start out. So I think that's what a lot of these artists need to do now is find somebody that you admire, that you think that's doing something correctly, and then follow them. Don't try to go out there like, oh, I can do it myself, because you can't.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you can. So
I know I can't.
If you have the chance to get out and be, right in front and do it, and you have the chops and everything, I don't think you would take that advice. You're going to step back and wait nah. So, but what happens though is
there it is. Come on.
I would encourage people who, everybody's telling you you're not ready yet, and you don't have it, and you ain't this and you ain't that. You go through the process, and maybe it'll be better for you at the end than what it is now, because you'll be so much more developed. Because sometimes, you think you don't have it because it's not a finished product when you first come out there. Some people, I think Aretha Franklin probably came out the cradle singing.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to give you that one.
Okay.
But
if you don't and you have to develop it, that might be a better thing. I think that's how it might more practically happen. Because I know if I had a chance to be out front in the beginning, and I was young and starting out, first of all, I wouldn't know any better. I would say, yeah. And matter of fact, that's what happened. Somebody said, you want to be on Broadway? Well, he didn't say that. He said, did I want to do hair? I said, I don't have a Bachelor of Arts degree in music to do nobody's hair. Then they explained it to me it was going to be a Broadway show, and I said, yeah.
Well, you just never know.
But I'm just thinking in terms of how sometimes things happen for young people. And you don't want to hold them back, you know, but you hope that if they get a chance to, if they do get opportunities and they're out there, they'll get some grooming and find some people
Right.
that will.
It's kind of like catch-22 because I feel like anybody who tells me I can't do something, that's going to give me more determination to do it. I just know not to just jump right into it.
Well, you know now.
Well, I just always been like, I've always been like,
Well, you know what? I hate you.
wow.
Some people are so smart. I made so many mistakes, you know, so I kind of identify with the person who just is, you know, don't really know.
Well, I
what
made
to
the
learn.
mistakes, but I always had, you know, God bless my
Well,
sister. She was always like snatching me back, like, you don't want to do that. You know,
Okay,
you know. I was
good,
like,
good.
you know, I just take it. Well, how do I do it? My sister was always, no matter what dumb choice I made, she would always say like, okay, let's talk about the pros and cons, and that's how I grew up. So she's like, okay, if you do it, this is what's gonna happen. So when it happens,
Right.
What are
right.
you gonna
Well,
say?
You're
So-
very blessed, and I think
Oh, yes,
you know,
definitely.
that we want to give that advice to people. But for instance, my parents were musicians, and I said to my mother, I said, well, what happens to you if the record company doesn't live up to their agreement? She says, well, I guess you just wait it out. And poor dear, she waited her whole life out and never, I mean, she died of a broken heart.
oh,
So needless to say, I did not want to do that. So I'm just saying, I know our stories are personal and different.
Right.
So I share both of our experiences, and to say, I don't know what your experience is going to be, but I wish you well. And whatever happens, I would say go for it.
yeah, definitely go for
Yeah,
it and stuff.
yeah.
But just please ask a lot of questions.
Ask questions.
Yes.
That's a good thing.
Ask a lot
Have
of
a good
questions.
lawyer.
I don't know.
This
a good
dude.
lawyer,
Sometimes
you-
sometimes they too good.
No, they're not too good. They're not very honest.
Right, there you go.
All right, we'll get into that later. We're gonna go on a quick break.
I mean,
Can I
some
play
of them.
some Melba Moore?
Yes, please.
Please?
Please.
Can I
please.
play one of the new ones, please?
I give you permission.
Yes, you may.
Can I have permission to play it, please?
Yes, you may, sir.